Like, where do I even begin? It's just... How do I even explain this to people? Like, It's bad. We're talking about it today. Administration in Serbia is... I don't know if you've seen me in my last video, and all I could say to you was this was a whole video. It's a whole video, guys. If you're moving here from Canada, you're gonna wanna stick around till closer to the end. I'm gonna discuss the requirements for your children to get their citizenship here. But I'm gonna touch on that at the end because we need to cover other things first. Things need to be talked about. How can administration, first of all, the word administration was never used in Canada, so I never said the administration in Canada. It was like, oh, the government, like Service Ontario, Service Canada, like we called it a name, but here it's like administration on a whole. I'm not just talking about with the government, I'm talking administration as a whole. IKEA's administration in Serbia is a shit show, let alone all the other administration that I've encountered while being here. Days of summer. Anyways, we're gonna cover it all because I talk a lot about what I love, and I do get those questions like, but is there anything you don't love? Administration. They don't even have to finish the question. It's funny, I was speaking with someone and she said to me, you know, what made you move here? And I'm explaining everything. And she said, anything, and I cut her off. I'm like, administration. And she just laughed and she said, yeah, this is Serbia. Can I tell you how many people have said this is Serbia? So my husband and I started something called TIS. And now we just look at each other and we're like, TIS. If your expectations don't exist for the administration, meaning anything paperwork required, if you set the bar way down low, or you don't have a bar of administration, if you don't have any expectations, you cannot be disappointed. Let's jump into this. Now you're gonna have to bear with me. The sounds of spring and summer are just soothing, but at the same time, it's warm enough that all the windows are open in here. I don't wanna have to run my air conditioning unit yet, so you're gonna hear some cars in the background. TIS, okay? Anyways, let's just start with saying the first few times that at the very beginning, you're gonna do more paperwork than you're ever gonna want to have to do or have to do. The reality is you're starting in a new country, brand new. So the first few times that we went to go fill paperwork out and it was incorrect, I thought that that was just a one-off because while yes, my husband's Serbian and we've talked about this in the past, if you're new here, he actually left Serbia when he was only 14 years old. So he is not adulted in Serbia. So everything is still new to him too. But here's a little tip of advice. If there's paperwork to fill out, no matter what you put on the paperwork, even if you answer every single question as stated, you will be told that your paperwork is incorrect. It's inevitable. I'm done. I'm done even trying to make sense of it. The reality is, when you come back with your incorrect paperwork, the person who works there redoes your paperwork, which is fantastic. But why couldn't we just go through that process first? Why did I have to leave, go do my paperwork, bring it back, for them to skim over it in literally seconds and say it's wrong? pull out another piece of paper, the same paper, and write it for us. We're not talking once, twice. We're talking this has happened over and over and over again. My husband has filled it out in Serbian. He's filled it out in Cyrillic. He's filled it out in English. There's no right way except for the way that the person who is dealing with you is going to write it. So I'm almost ready to tell you that you can put whatever you want on that paperwork because it's going to be wrong regardless. But that's just not it. When it comes to administration, I wish that was the only problem. Imagine we went to IKEA to do some returns. Now, in Canada, this would be a very simple process. You go to the counter, as we did in Belgrade. You show your receipt, your račun, as we did here. They process things. They scan your items. They scan the receipt. To i to. All is good. Yeah, no. That's just not what happened. So we give the things, the receipt, and the kind gentleman says, "Can you have a seat for 5 to 10 minutes?" So my sister-in-law and I are like, "Oh, okay." My husband and brother-in-law are like, "He's just being generous with his time. No way it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes because he already had the receipts." What would take 5 to 10 minutes? 10 minutes later, he calls us back over. Gotovo, finished. What were you doing for 10 minutes? What could be so different in IKEA when this is a company that is worldwide with the same uniform, the same items for sale, the same layouts? What could be so different with the paperwork that takes 5 to 10 minutes and actually took 10 whole minutes? Now, while you guys are all going to say, it's only 10 minutes. I get it. The Canadian conditioning is still in us. We have places to go all the time. We're trying to reestablish our life and get things going. We are not in the Belgrade area. We are driving into the Belgrade area. We got to get back and get the kids. We have things to do. So those 10 minutes were precious that we just didn't expect. And more so, what were you doing for 10 minutes? Anyways, okay. And I know some people are going to leave a comment below like, why do you talk like a child? I don't think I talk like a child. And if I do, that's God's given way that he gave me a voice. And if you're meaning that I'm expressive, all people in North America are expressive. Forgive me. Not all. Please excuse my husband. For the most part, they're expressive. But this is me. Like when you meet me in public, this is me. If you think I talk like a child and you don't like it, I think there's like an X up at the top somewhere. Anyways. So now we're done in IKEA and we leave and we're all talking in the car. And then we start talking about administration and we're just like, have you ever noticed, Serbs, let me know. Have you ever noticed that when you get a list of items that you need to bring with you to an administration office, okay, lined out exactly what you need, and you hit points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all 7 you have, and you get to that office, you're still missing a paper? How can I still be missing a paper? How can that even be possible? I have every piece. In fact, I even brought extra items in case you ask me for something. But that one that you're asking me for, I don't have it. can there always be one more thing? Get this, I have something better. We're dealing with an administration office. They said, why don't you submit your papers today? I said, I didn't take a photocopy of the document that you needed. They said, well, we could have did it for you. I'm like, okay, let me get my papers. I'll come back tomorrow. And if you could do that photocopy for me, it'll all be done. I'll be good to go. Okay? Vidimo se. This is a true story, guys. No lies. I do not lie to you guys. Show up the next day. Paperwork in hand. All items requested. One item that needs to be photocopied. Here's your one item that needed to be photocopied, your one document. Do you mind doing the copy for me? Like you said yesterday. I do not work for you. You need to go photocopy that elsewhere. What? But, no. There's not even a debate. There's no debating with the administration. Take your things and be on your way. So I leave. I get the copy. I come back now with everything requested. And the copy. This person goes through my documents, takes out documents, don't need. Are you kidding me? So the same ones that you said I needed, today I don't need. Yesterday, you were gonna make a photocopy for me. Today you won't. And all I do is, okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Voila. What else are you gonna do? There's nothing else you can do. You have to accept it for exactly what it is. Administration in Serbia. This is Serbia. So my husband and I go around talking to people saying like, the administration here is terrible. And they're like, yeah, this is Serbia. Is there no policy manager in the government? And if not, is there somewhere I can apply? Because I don't know, maybe you need a woman to whip things up into shape in there and like set some guidelines, set some procedures that are standard across the board. I mean, why in one municipality do you do things one way and the next municipality you do it another way? Is there not some governing body overseeing all of Serbia? And then individual governing bodies for the required little municipalities? Why? Zašto? And another thing, if you're dealing with two administrative governing bodies, did you know that the one doesn't know what the other one needs and the other one doesn't know what that one needs? So if you're like, hey, when I take this to that office, is there anything else that you need to do? I don't know what they want. So how do I know what they want? Let's talk about notary offices. So we go to a notary office to notarize a document. And the guy said that I needed a translator for the document that my husband and I put together. I know exactly what's in the document. It gets good, guys. We leave. We come back. Another person in there notarizes the document without even complaining or saying that, and knowing I speak only English. Why does it change from person to person? Why is it different from place to place? When you come here, you're gonna need a good translator. I got one. If you need a good translator, in the Novi Sad area, you let me know, because I got one. All I'm going to say is when you're doing your paperwork, is what I'll say, any paperwork in Serbia, pack your patience. Do not go there with any other plans for the day. And never, ever expect to complete whatever you're trying to do in a single day. Rome was not built in a day. Let me tell you, that saying really means something here. Do not expect that you will complete anything in a single day. Now, for my Canadians, we had a difficult time getting the citizenship for the children. And I actually believed that they were going to be easier than I was. Because of my husband, of course. Nope. So, couple things you're going to need, and this is important that you know. Make sure you have your long birth statement, the long birth certificate, first and foremost. Fill out the paperwork incorrectly, and then they'll correctly fill it in for you. But you need to take that paper, your live long birth certificate, and you need to bring it to the Canadian Embassy in Belgrade and have that document certified by the Canadian Embassy. We're not done. By the way, we submitted all of the paperwork for the kids and waited a month and a half, maybe 2, before they let us know that, oops, we don't know what you need, but we think you need to go back to Canada to get what you need. I'm doing what I normally do. I'm going off topic. Well, not really. It's on topic, but no, you don't need to go back to Canada. And please don't get worked up or upset if you hear that. And getting back your documents. Okay. Anyways. When you're done in the Canadian Embassy, you now need to take your document in Belgrade to the Foreign Affairs building and get that same long birth certificate, now certified after the Canadian Embassy. We're not done. Now you need to take that document, long birth certificate, with the stamps on the back and signatures of authentication, and bring it to a translator, a certified translator, and have that document translated front and back, stamps included, and then bring all of that to your respective office of where you're living and submit that. Without getting the authenticated document, even though it's the actual document, certified document, they will not accept it without that extra stamp from Canada. Don't be alarmed when the stamp says Canada does not certify the content of this document. They're just certifying that that is an official document from Canada and that there is no other original. Also beware that they will keep your long birth certificate. So if you want to still have one or you feel you're going to need one, you should probably order it before you leave Canada, or if you still have family in Canada, order it and have them mail it to you, because we all know everything in Canada takes 4 to 6 months. And while I told you to pack your patience, make sure you pack some chocolate, rakia, something as a thank you. It gets you a long way in this country. As always, this is Nix in Serbia, and I love chatting with you guys. I know, I still owe you ladies a video. I sincerely promise from my heart I will get it done this week. I have so much information to tell you and cover. Some of you have been waiting to meet me, and I look forward to meeting several of you. I am working hard on meeting several of you. I actually randomly ran into one of my subscribers at McDonald's, and we were able to sit down with my family and their family and chat over some sundaes, but we just happened to be in the same place at the same time. I have about 9 families that I am trying to meet with, as well as dealing with administration and the building of our home. So things are a bit busy. I am also considering if there's still this momentum of wanting to meet up from all the expats. And I'm not just meeting up with random people, I'm meeting up with expats who are like-minded or looking for information or have children around the same age and looking to establish new relationships. Relationships as in friends. I'm looking to do maybe like a meetup once a month. Nothing firm yet. It's just that with having 9 right now, it feels a bit daunting and like, I don't know what to do. Because I really don't like leaving you guys hanging. And so I feel this like need and this commitment to hurry up and get out there and meet you guys. It's just like I said, personal life has been really busy. We are hitting the home show tomorrow. I'm so excited to know that there is a home show here in Serbia. So I'm going to be in Belgrade for the home show tomorrow during the day. Other than that, again, any questions or anything you want to know, comments below. Vidimo se. Talk to you soon. Ciao.